Hello, people of Earth, people of this planet Earth. Hello. How are you doing? Why did I do that? Not what I just said. I just took my headphones off and then I threw them. Well, I didn't throw them, but I just don't know why I did that. Anyways, hi, how are you? This is a podcast. Welcome back to the podcast. This is ThirdEyeCyphs. This is a podcast where we talk about what is my niche, guys? I spent all day talking about this. I've been in a 3-day full-time purpose course, and one of the things is getting a niche, narrowing down your niche, and I don't know. I'm not there yet, guys. I'm too everywhere to pick a niche. Not too everywhere, I just have a very general niche, and it needs to be narrowed down. But, anyways, that's not what we're discussing here, gays. Oh my gosh. Guys and gays, and girls, and, well, gays are guys, but then, oh my gosh, I said, well, you don't call gay people gays, like, what the heck? It was completely by accident, guys, come on, Anyways, it is, what time is it? It's 7:03, guys. We just hit the 7:03 mark, so let's keep it moving. This is another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs, yeah.
ThirdEyeCyphs. ThirdEyeCyphs.
We're back. It's 7:03 in the morning, and look at me. I'm already hype. It's Friday. I don't work weekends usually. That might change soon. So I'm not looking forward to that. But anyways, how are you guys? How are you doing? Let's go through your self-care checklist. How are you taking care of yourself? Are you drinking water? How much water are you drinking? Are you drinking 8-ounce glasses of water every day, or 4 16-ounce glasses of water every day? And is the bottle you're keeping it in glass? Because that's great. But if it's not, whatever container that it's in, oh my gosh, is it BPA free? BPA, do you know what BPA is? You better look it up. We did it once here. We're not going to do it again, because then that's like, what, I'm going to teach you about BPA every episode? No! Look it up. BPA, that is it, getting all in your food and your drinks, and you're eating it because that is what they want us to do, guys. That is what they want us to do. They want us to do a lot of things. And if you can see, this is not about your self-care checklist, but the TV, not even TV, like YouTube commercials, radio, advertisements, it is all propaganda. I want you to watch every commercial as propaganda. Like, you know that movie, what is it, They Live? Is it called They Live? I think it's called They Live. And, hold on, let me confirm that. And this guy puts on these glasses, and he can see the truth of all the BS that is everywhere. Okay, movie They Live. Let's see. It is called They Live. Okay, so yeah, watch that movie, but see everything as if you were putting on those glasses. So every commercial, propaganda. Everything that is advertised and pushed by the media, it is propaganda. So if you're very suspicious about something that they are trying to push onto people or advertise as if everybody's doing it and it's very cool, vaccines, I just want you to think twice about it. But anyways, Yeah, self-care checklist, I wouldn't get that if I were you. Healthy food. Are you eating organic? Are you eating non-GMO foods? Are you eating dark leafy greens? Those are my favorite, but they are so good for you guys. Even if you don't like them, like, try to figure out. If you don't like cooked spinach, you might like raw spinach. I never liked cooked spinach until I ate it raw in a salad, and I love salad, so it was easy to eat it raw. And then once I ate it raw, I tried it cooked, and then I loved it cooked. So you never know, guys. You never know. Mental health. Are you taking a break? Are you relaxing? Are you giving your mind some time to rest after a long day of work or thinking or strategizing? Do you have some sort of outlet to express yourself, to ease your mind, like playing? Do you color? Do you write? Do you have some sort of hobby to put you in that mindless state? Do you meditate? Meditate is wonderful. It is wonderful for calming the soul and the mind, guys. The soul and the mind. Emotional. Do you have a support system? Do you journal? Are you expressing your feelings and emotions and thoughts in some sort of way or outlet? So writing, it could be art, it can be, journaling, talking to someone. Maybe you have a therapist, maybe you have a best friend, somebody you could just talk to, and somebody who's not going to judge you, a support system that will be there for you whenever and can actually give you good advice rather than just telling you what they think they would do. Well, then again, I don't know, sometimes that could be good advice, but you don't want somebody like, you know what I mean, guys. I say that and then you're like, no, I don't know what I mean. You know, like, just somebody who just wants to put their 2 cents in, like, not giving you actual credible advice. I was gonna say advice. That's just more, I don't know, maybe they're projecting or more geared towards their feelings. I don't know. Either way, I hope you have nice friends, a nice family to get you through things. That is always a plus. You know, things are so much harder when you feel like you don't have people that are there for you during whatever it is you're going through, or people that understand you, or people that will be there with you going through it, I guess. So, I hope you have all of that. I hope you're doing good and taking care of yourself. I hope you are taking care of yourself, because that is the key to success, and the key to discovering yourself. I think so, yeah. Because if you just ignore yourself, like, you're not really working on yourself. How can you work on yourself when you're, like, not even caring for yourself? Or, well, working on yourself is caring for yourself, so, I don't know. Well, you're taking a good big step to taking care of yourself by listening to this podcast, because in this podcast, we talk about things that can help us improve ourselves. Self-improvement, self-development, help us attain self-realization. What is it? Haku! No! 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 Oh my gosh. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry. No biting you. No. Guys, I literally had cat purring music. You know, I'm gonna have to put back the cat purring music. I switched it to rain because she was falling asleep, and I was like, okay, like, maybe, like, the rain and white noise will calm her. Oh, now she's stretching, so that means she's awake now. Okay, I'm putting back the cat purring on. I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna have to hear some cat purrs. Okay, I'm putting it back on. Well, so that's today's music in the background, cat purring. I'm just trying to get her to sleep. I try to get her to sleep during the podcast because she just cries, and then she runs around, and then she starts doing things to get my attention and destroying things, and I just can't right now, guys. So, getting into this episode, before we do our lovely card reading, I'd love to hear a word from our sponsors. Alright, well, we're back, guys, and it is time for your weekly card reading. I feel like we haven't done one of these in a while, maybe about 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're overdue for a card reading. So, the card that I pulled from the Energy Oracle card deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. And the card that we pulled is the Healer of Ages card, but in reverse. Now, for those of you who listen regularly, which is a lot of you, you know that if we get a card in reverse, I always pull another one, but actually, you know, I'm glitching out the matrix here. I did not pull a second card because I didn't really, I lied, I apologize. I did pull a second card, but when I read the first card, I didn't think that we needed the second card, but I don't know. After I tell you this one, I'll tell you what the second one was. But I don't think it. I think it was just me pulling an extra card because I'm used to pulling an extra card when one is in reverse. But it didn't really feel applicable, so I just put it back. Okay, so Healer of the Ages card. Now this card shows a guy. He looks like a healer. He has like the enlightened aura around his head, like you know how you see with the ring around the head. And then he has this heart. Well, you don't see his heart, but you see it shining coming out of his head and his heart, his chest area. And then his hands too. So he's healing from all directions, guys. But so this card usually means that, you know, this guy's with you. I don't know his name, sorry, I'm calling him like this guy. This spirit, this divine entity who is a healer, that this usually means he's with you and, you know, there's a healing going on and it's alright because you're being healed by this guy. Or this divine being. But in reverse, this means that you have been feeling kind of, you know, out of tune, not in tune, guys. In your own life, you've been feeling kind of everywhere and not, you know, kind of not with no direction. I was gonna say with no, I don't know. Okay, anyways, directionless. You've been feeling like you just feel everywhere. You feel disoriented. And it could be because something is happening, whether it be a physical problem, you feel like you're just losing energy, or something could be happening in your life, something could be draining you energetically, something could be happening just to you mentally. You could be going through a lot of changes, you could be going through a lot of grief, whatever it is, something happened or something is happening, and you need to move into healing now. So it's kind of like in this card, instead of saying like, oh, you're being healed right now, it's saying that something is happening that is requiring for you to be healed. So because of this, this card is telling you to take some time to be with yourself. Give yourself the chance to heal. So this means like taking a day off from everyone, doing some sort of, you know, rejuvenation routine, take a long hot bath, drink some tea, read a book, take a nap, do something, like just have a full day, or not even a full, it doesn't even have to be a full day, but just take some time out for yourself. Don't work on anything. Literally, like, okay, so me, I feel like if I'm working for myself, then I'm taking care of myself, and that's literally not the case, because it's like, okay, my schedule would be like, okay, work for the yoga studio, and then when I get a chance, work for myself, because I'm moving towards becoming self-employed. So it's like, when I'm not working my actual job, then I'm trying to work for myself so that I can push myself further in my life. And by me working for myself and doing all these things for my company, for myself, I think that is me taking care of myself. And it's not, because I'm still working, I'm still investing energy into doing all of this and strategizing and trying to come up with new things, and it's all working. So I'm trying to see what my cat's doing. So that's not taking a rest. Taking a rest is actually stopping what you're doing. Stop working in all types of forms. Even like cooking could be considered like working or something. I hope she's trying to go to sleep and not pee on something. She looks like it. I don't know. Hi. Oh no, I looked at her. Now she's gonna come to me. Oh, I feel bad. Hello, baby. Sorry, I'm distracted by the cuteness of my cat. So, anyways, take some time to regroup and put your own healing first. Whether you're facing mental, emotional, physical, or even addictive patterns, call upon the Healer of Ages to bring his energy to the issues you're working on. Quiet your mind and feel his vibration bringing you warmth and healing light, clearing away any dark or hurting space. Repeat this meditation and be patient, yet also know that divine love can heal you in the blink of a belief. So, this card is saying a healing needs to be taken place. You need to take some time to get yourself together, work through these feelings and emotions and energy, meditate, ask for divine guidance in this healing process, because it is a healing process. And when I saw this card, oh my gosh, now my cat's literally all over this. She just wants to be a part. I'll make some space for her. Maybe she'll stay. Maybe you'll stay, Haku. The first thing I thought was, I'm sorry, she's all over the microphone right now. The first thing I thought of was my lovely boyfriend. If you're listening to this, I love you. And yeah, there's a lot of healing that needs to be going on, whether it's with you or somebody you know. This card is saying that a healing does need to be taken place, and there needs to be effort put into healing. Now, healing isn't disregarding the situation or just trying to distract yourself or do something to kind of help you work through it. I think that, of course, there is, healing to that, but I am a strong believer and supporter of, I'm like moving this mic around so that she can freaking sit. I'm a very strong believer and supporter of taking time off to just rest, like just literally sleeping or meditating, praying, chanting, sitting with your thoughts, working through your emotions in a very neutral aspect. So like self-talk, but no like, oh, I should have done this, or feeling guilty for things, or resentment towards things yourself. Literally approaching your emotions and thoughts without judging them. So just witnessing them and seeing them as they are, and letting them go and releasing them. Just becoming aware of them and then just releasing the thoughts, having no attachment to them or judgment. So, with that being said, I hope this relates to you. I hope this helps you somehow, some way. And yeah, so today, we will be talking about the hero's journey. The hero's journey and Dharma. The hero's journey and Dharma. This is a very wonderful topic. I'm actually very excited to talk about this. I don't have any notes on it, so we will just be freestyling here. So, what should we talk about first? I guess we can talk about Dharma. Or should we talk about the hero's journey first? Okay, let's talk about Dharma first. So, Dharma. What is Dharma? I can't believe we haven't talked about this yet. It's funny because I had to check to see if we talked about it yet, just because I feel like we should have, just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I would have talked about Dharma already. So, Dharma, it's like, it has so many, I don't want to say so many, but there are many different uses for this word Dharma, especially in Eastern spirituality and philosophy. So if you look up Dharma on Google, you get, well, I'll just read you like the first couple of translations. It says, in Indian religion, I guess being Hinduism, but I don't, maybe just because there's various Indian religions, like Sikh is an Indian religion. But it says in parentheses, in Indian religion, the eternal and inherent nature of reality, regarded in Hinduism as a cosmic law underlying right behavior and social order. In Buddhism, the nature of reality regarded as a universal truth taught by the Buddha, the teaching of Buddhism, an aspect of truth or reality. So, from, not speaking from definition, what I originally knew Dharma to be was what was mentioned in Buddhism, which is one of the three jewels. So we've spoke about Buddhism. I mentioned the three jewels frequently. It is the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. So that is the Buddha, the teacher, the Dharma, the teachings, and the Sangha, the community, or those being taught. So my original introduction, my original knowledge of Dharma, my introduction to Dharma, was that Dharma were teachings, were Buddhist teachings. That was my original thing. And then it kind of just moved on to teachings. And then I read about Dharma in different ways, and I guess I just started learning more things, and I came to learn also that Dharma is the path, or destiny, kind of like it's like your destiny. Like, I am accomplishing my Dharma, I am fulfilling my destiny, I'm fulfilling my purpose, I'm fulfilling my Dharma. So that's how I've come to learn to know it as. And then I kept learning about it, and then you hear this in the definitions that I read, the eternal and inherent nature of reality, a cosmic law underlying right behavior and social order. So in this context, Dharma is the underlying force of nature. It is the Tao. It is the way. It is cosmic law. So Dharma is always happening, basically. It is always there. And when you say, I'm fulfilling my Dharma, that means you are just in tune to the way, the Tao, the natural flow of things. So I'm going to read to you something that I found on, I can't even, usually it says, like, go to this website. This was, I don't know what website this was, but I just screenshotted it. It says, the Eternal Dharma. In the early Theravada texts, Buddha Shakyamuni is reported to have remarked that the Dharma is always present, whether or not there is a Buddha to preach it or a Sangha to practice it. Dharma, in this sense, is the underlying substratum, I don't know, of reality, of our lives, and of our world. Oh my god. It is the ultimate and primordial fact of who and what we are. So this is the Tao. So there are many different terms of, or different definitions, oh my gosh, that we can define Dharma as. So in this sense, let's try to understand Dharma as how I mentioned before. It is the Tao. It is the underlying aspect of everything. It is that primordial force, right? It is Shiva. It is Shakti. It is the unification of both of them. It is yin yang. It is the way. It is Tao. It is God. It is Brahman. It is the Vedas. That is another thing. It is the Vedas, because the Vedas is said to be that humming in the silence. It is the silence. It is always happening. It is creation itself. It is not creation itself. So let's see Buddha as that, and I mean Buddha, oh my gosh, Dharma as that. But also, when we accomplish our Dharma, when we act accordingly to our Dharma, when we are in alignment with our Dharma, this is us being in alignment with the Tao, the flow of nature, with purpose itself, with existence itself, with nature itself. This is us being in alignment. This is us being in tune. This is us being in flow with God. So, what is your Dharma? What do you feel your Dharma is? What do you feel like you came here to do? What makes you feel like you are in tune with the Tao? Now, knowing what Dharma is, we're going to talk a little bit about the hero's journey, and then I'll bring Dharma back into it. So, the hero's journey. What is the hero's journey? The hero's journey is a narrative, or sort of a set structure storyline, kind of a basic adventure of any movie, any book, any story. This is a hero going on a journey. This is the hero's journey. It is from the beginning of the journey to the end of the journey. So I'm going to give you an example, and you can file. I'll post this as the picture to advertise the episode. So if you look on my Instagram, you'll see a picture of it. But all you have to do is type in the hero's journey on Google, and then look on images, and it'll show you the cycle of the hero's journey. Now, I personally learned about the hero's journey through studying the Ramayana. I mentioned this in the mindful interlude that I had been studying the Ramayana for 6 weeks in this whole course workshop thing with the Neem Karoli Baba Ashram, and that's where I learned about the hero's journey. And we go through the hero's journey because Ram's journey is the hero's journey in the Ramayana. And then, surprisingly, coincidentally, not coincidentally, because there are no coincidences, it popped up on my storyline from like a meme page that it wasn't even a meme page, it was just like a spiritual page that I follow on Instagram. But it was the Fibonacci sequence, like the golden spiral, but then it showed the hero's journey, and it said, follow the Fibonacci spiral of the hero's journey, or something like that. And I thought it was very odd because I just finished studying the hero's journey, and then I saw it again from somebody who didn't even know, or wasn't part of the workshop or anything. It was just, odd that it came back into my life, and then, not back into my life, but just randomly. I'd never heard of the hero's journey before, or the cycle, and then it just appeared on my timeline after I had studied it from a completely different page, and then it also involved the Fibonacci spiral, so I thought that was very interesting. So, it's a basic storyline. This is kind of how it goes. So, the cycle, it can be broken in half or into 2 parts as the known world, which is what you're comfortable to, your regular life, your comfort zone, basically. And then the other half is the unknown world, where at some point the hero, the main character, will step from their comfort zone into a very uncomfortable situation. So, no haku. And then the known world, that section can be broken down in half into separation, when the person is separated from their known world, and then when they return to the known world. So I would just like to say really quick that I just finished recording this entire episode. Like right now from this point on, I'm restarting because at some point, where the last thing you heard me say, my cat stepped on something on the laptop and it wasn't recording the entire time, and I just finished recording the entire episode just talking to myself. I wasn't even recording anything, and I am completely heartbroken because that was very devastating. Put my all into that. Oh my gosh. Okay, getting into this into this hero's journey. This is my hero's journey. So we begin at the top at 12 o'clock. The hero's journey. The hero is called to adventure. I can't believe I'm talking about all of this again. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I know it's not the second time for you, but just bear with me, guys. So the hero, he's called on an adventure. And there may be a refusal of the call. Maybe he doesn't want to go on this adventure, right? So I don't want to do this again. So he refuses the call. He may not want it. He may not want it. It's he doesn't always have to want it, but you know, he'll accept it eventually. But maybe he just does want it. Like maybe there is no refusal of the call. It's a may or may not. So then there is a supernatural aide or mentor who supplies the hero with tools or advice to help further them on this journey, to help bring them upon this journey. So then, once this hero has all the tools and the knowledge or the advice that they need to actually want to go on this journey, then they cross the threshold. This is crossing the threshold of the known world into the unknown world. So now, this is like the real beginning of the journey. They're now in the unknown world, an unknown territory, and they're coming across new allies and enemies. This is the road of trials, the road of challenges and temptations. So now this is, you know, they're going on their journey and they come across some challenges, some obstacles, maybe some temptations. They meet new allies, people to help them. They run into enemies. This is like a whole quadrant worth of things. And then we get to the ordeal. This is the conflict. This is the main, I feel like this is the main event. The main, I feel like the whole journey is the main event, but this is the main conflict. So there's an ordeal. This is the initiation section of the journey. And so now the hero, they go through this ordeal, and there is a revelation. This is the ordeal of death and rebirth. So whatever the conflict is, there may be the death of the mentor. The mentor may pass away, or maybe leave the picture in general, like just isn't in the journey anymore. This is the death of the mentor. There's a transformation that happens within the hero. So they go through this whole death and rebirth cycle through this ordeal, through this conflict. So they probably reach the lowest of the low, and then they are reborn. They are transformed from this. Then from that, what do they get? They get the reward of it. They've accomplished the conflict. They receive the reward. They reap the benefits of this thing that happened. And there is the wow, I'm looking at the Joseph Campbell version now. I didn't even see this. So then, I'm trying to read it. Okay, return. Okay, it goes this way, I see. Okay, so then, yeah, there is a... Okay, sorry, I was trying to read a different one that I didn't read that one. I wish I would have read that one originally. So anyways, they are seizing the force. They are reaping the benefits of what had happened so far on this journey. They attained what they needed to. So now it is the road back. They are on their way back. They are going to cross the threshold back from the unknown back into the known. Back, they are returning home. And there may be a refusal to journey back. But there may not also. So then they come back with the elixir, with the end result. They get the ultimate boon from this. So when they come back home, then they reap the ultimate benefits. Like, they get the main reward that was the whole purpose of this journey. Not that they were aiming for that whole purpose, but they're strongly reaping the benefits of the entire journey that they just went on. And they return with the elixir, the prize, maybe somebody got kidnapped and the whole journey was to get that person back. They return with that person. Or to get a cure to a disease. The whole journey is to get that cure, and they return with the cure. So they come back with the result, or the elixir. And then that's it. That's it. They return home, and that is the end of the journey. Now, and then it could just keep repeating. So this is a cycle that happens endlessly throughout our lives, through everyone's lives, through nature itself. It is just constantly happening, and that is what I learned from the Ramayana. The Ramayana is constantly happening. It is cycling through our lives always. So I just read the Joseph Campbell one. I didn't see this before, but it's actually pretty cool. And it's so funny because I think this is from the book that my friend Nathan was reading when I met him. Because I remember he was reading a Joseph Campbell book, and I feel like it was maybe this one, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, but I kind of remember the cover, but I don't. I remember it had the Enso circle, but I feel like Joseph Campbell always has the Enso circle on his books. Not all of them, but... So I don't know, but I think maybe it was that one? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But anyway, so that's what I thought was weird, because I saw the cover of the book, and then I was like, I've seen that book before. Okay, so I like rushed through that, mainly because I went into so much detail the first time I recorded this, and then I was wrapping up the recording. I was like, okay, well, that's that. And then I look and see the screen. I wasn't recording the whole time. This is why it needs to be in front of my face all the time. I put it to the side so you don't hear the vibrations of the computer. And I got some bad results from that. Okay. So, getting back into this. So the reason why I talked about this, and bringing Dharma back into it, that's right. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I did everything so perfect the first time, guys. I'm so sorry, I apologize. So bringing Dharma back into this. Let's go to the Ramayana, right? So the Ramayana, and also keeping in mind the hero's journey. Ram is the hero. Ram's Dharma originally was to become king. What is it? Adyoha? Let's see. Ahodhya. Ramayana. Ayodhya. Is it? No. Oh yeah. Ayodhya city in the kingdom of Kosala. So he was supposed to become the king. He is a prince, and he is supposed to become the king. He is the supreme God himself. Nobody knows that he's God, though, because he's in human form. He doesn't even know he's God. There are some times in the Ramayana where he realizes that he's God, but then you know, and even Shiva and somebody else came down. They try to remind him that he is God because he doesn't know that he's actually Vishnu himself. So Ram, he is the prince of Ayodhya, and then he is supposed to be the crowned king. Everybody wanted him to be king. He was a wonderful man. He is God. He is beautiful. He is strong, powerful, resilient. Everybody wanted him to be king. The king wanted him to be king. Nobody had a problem with him being king. One of his stepmothers, because Ram's dad, the king, had 3 wives that each had their own sons. One of his stepmoms, one of those wives, was manipulated by one of their, like, maids or, like, assistant ladies or something, but we don't really know who she was. She just kind of appeared and then disappeared in the Ramayana. She manipulated Kalkeya, I think that's her name, Kalkeya, and she manipulated her to use her boons, because she had 2 boons with the king, which are promises, sort of, or favors, I guess you could say, with the king. So she convinced her to use her boons with the king to banish Ram into exile for 16 years and have Haku. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I put on the freaking... You better not step on my laptop again, I'll kill you. Okay, I won't kill you, I love you. Just don't. Okay, get away. Get away. So she convinces her to use her boons with the king to send Ram into exile. And the king did not want to send his son into exile because he loves Ram. Ram didn't do anything. Like, it's not like he said, you have to send him into exile because he did this, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was just, no, I'm using the favors that you owe me to banish Ram and to crown my own son as king. Now, when Ram was told of this news of his exile, he accepted it willingly. He did not deny it. He did not have a tantrum. He did not ask why he was being sent into exile. He accepted it. And he took his father's word. He said, I will go into exile because I know you have to stay true to your own word. And I will live out the 16 years and I will return and then I can become king. Or I don't even think he said I could become a king because his brother was supposed to be king at that point. But so, what my reason for saying this is because originally Ram's Dharma was to become king. Then he was forced into exile. He wasn't even really forced. They didn't push him out. He said okay, and he left. That became his Dharma. His 16 years in exile, that became his Dharma. And he accepted it willingly. So, the reason why I'm telling you these things and teaching you about the hero's journey and what Dharma is and the Ramayana is because this shows that no matter what happens in your life, Dharma is always fulfilling itself. Dharma will continue to happen. No matter what you feel your Dharma is, it can easily change paths, and that is equally your Dharma. Your Dharma may have been to change paths. So, I feel like this is accepting divine grace willingly. Accepting Dharma willingly. No matter what happens in your life, it is for the greater purpose. It is Dharma happening. It is the flow of nature. No matter how drastic it seems, it is part of your Dharma. And what I want you guys to do is to be like Ram. Be like divine consciousness itself. Accept Dharma willingly. Go with the flow. Because it is Dharma. It may seem like, oh my gosh, this isn't supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen this way. My purpose is to do this. This isn't supposed to happen. Everything that happens is supposed to be happening. There is no hiccups. God does not make any mistakes. The universe does not make any mistakes. Everything is divinity. Everything is purposeless and purposeful. There is no right and wrongs. It is just happening. There is no mistake. So, I'm telling you this because I want you to see this cycle in your own life. And I want you to approach things that may happen in your life, drastic things, things that seem very bad, and see it all as part of the Dharma. See yourself on the cycle and ask yourself, where am I in the storyline right now? How can I move to the next phase? I'll give you an example with my life, right? My call to adventure was leaving New York and running away. I was aiming to go towards California, but there was a slight refusal of the call within me. So I left, but I didn't go all the way to California. I stopped in Pennsylvania. This was me still staying in that first quadrant of the separation, but staying in the first half of the known world, right? So I was still in the known world. I was still kind of in my comfort zone. I stepped a little out of my comfort zone, but not completely. Like, I left home, but I was still in an area that I was comfortable with. I knew it. I've had history there, so it wasn't too uncomfortable for me. And then I had some help. I had some more knowledge and advice, and I ended up eventually going to California. So this was me crossing the threshold from the known world to the unknown world. And sorry, my cat's like literally walking back and forth in front of the microphone. So then this is me in the unknown world, and I had to go through trials and tribulations. Now this is my hero's journey, right? I'm still in the unknown world, and I'm by the ordeal. I don't know if I'm going through the ordeal now, or I've been going through it, or I haven't gone through it yet. But I am still in this trials and tribulation phase of my hero's journey. But you can even break it down into smaller cycles, right? So now I can say that as my call to adventure was when COVID hit, and I was called from my boss to stay with her during the lockdown. And oh, now you want to lay here. Wow, so nice, Haku. She's laying on my lap now. Let's see how long this will last. So then that was my call of adventure. And there was a refusal of the call. I didn't want to move in with her. I didn't want to step out of my comfort zone and stay with a complete stranger in her house for a lockdown. Like, that seemed crazy to me. So there was that refusal of the call for me. And then there was the supernatural aid or mentor, which was her. Really, she was my mentor. But then also, I remember the day that I did a card reading. The day that I left to her house to live with her, I did a card reading for myself, and I got the journey card. Like, I was about to embark on a journey. So then this was my push to cross the threshold. So I moved in with her, right? And I stepped into the unknown world. I stepped from my comfort zone, my mini comfort zone of living in my apartment, having a stable job, and stepping into the unknown world. And there I met new allies. I didn't make enemies, but I went through a lot of troubles there. I went through a lot of discouragement of myself, a lot of worries, a lot of relationship issues because I couldn't see my boyfriend during that time. So it was a lot of trials and tribulations. And then there was the ordeal where I had to move out, and I had given up my apartment already, and I needed to find another place to live immediately. So it was a very short amount, like a very small conflict that happened that I had to overcome. And then there was another source of help. I guess I don't want to say a source of help, but something that came across being like me finding a place to live. And there was the transformation, I guess you could say the transformation for that. Me moving from that ordeal into moving into the reaping the benefits of what happened. So then I moved, and then I found a nice comfortable place for myself and for me and Haku, and it was okay, and everything was nice, and I was reaping the benefits of moving, I guess you could say. And then I moved back into the known world, my own personal comfort zone of having a place to live, being able to see my boyfriend, getting back into some sort of routine for myself. And then I returned back to my comfort zone with more knowledge and experience of living with someone I didn't know, of living with a yoga teacher who had been teaching for 16 years. I learned more about yoga. I learned more about yogic philosophy, spirituality. I learned more about her. I gained a relationship with her. And that was me reaping the benefits after that, and coming back with the elixir, coming back with the knowledge that I need to embark on another journey, maybe. So this can fit into anywhere in your life, whether it be your whole entire life story, like how I'm still in the middle or the beginning of my unknown world journey. I'm still in trials and tribulations of these years worth of a journey, and then you see how there have been many. Well, I only mentioned one example, but I can keep going on about maybe different cycles that had happened that followed the same exact template. So I'd like you to see this in your own personal life and see where you are on your journey. And also, when things happen in your life, maybe think of this as a part of that journey, and think about how you can move into the next phase and get through the ordeal, get through the conflict, get through the death of the mentor, right? And don't react as if it is forever. These are cycles that are constantly happening. Be as Ram and accept Dharma willingly. Be open to anything that may happen in your life that seems drastic. Remember that Dharma can change. Whatever you think your Dharma is, it's like, oh, my purpose is to become a doctor, right? Say that's my Dharma. I must be a doctor. You know, I've been so drawn to be called to go to a doctor, to be a doctor, to be called a doctor, to be a doctor. And you go to med school, you do all of this stuff, and you know, your Dharma, you feel like I'm going to be a doctor. And then maybe something happens where you get into an accident and you can't use your hands anymore. And you had a near-death experience where you met God or somebody, right? And as soon as you come out of it, you're this entirely new person. Now, you no longer feel called to become a doctor, but to teach people about the universe and about near-death experiences. Now, you may have felt like your Dharma was to become a doctor, but then something happened, something drastic, maybe that was the ordeal, right? That changed your path. that is all the same Dharma. That is all part of the same journey. It may feel like your Dharma has changed, but it's all part of the same journey. So don't be discouraged by things that may happen in your life that seem drastic or devastating, that feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not on the right path anymore, or, you know, I'm not fulfilling my Dharma, anything like that, right? Because it can change, but it is all part of the same journey. So, that is it for this episode. I wanted to share that with you, and maybe you can approach life a little differently, or events that may happen in your life, and we can approach them with more graciousness and calmness and openness and acceptance. Acceptingly, I don't know. So, that is it. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I'm sorry that, I don't know what happened. The first recording was probably way better than this one. I don't know, maybe it wasn't. There was a reason. Obviously, I don't take anything as coincidence, as you guys know, so the universe obviously did not want me to record that first version or want you to hear that first version. So I can't even be mad. I don't know what that was, sorry. So anyways, that's the hero's journey. Where are you on your journey? Where are you? Look at this cycle. I'll post some pictures, but all you gotta do is look up the hero's journey on Google Images and look at these cycles and ask yourself, where am I on this journey? Look at different things that have happened in your life, and now, when things happen that don't seem to be all that good, see it as a trial and tribulation. See it as the ordeal, but know that it is an endless cycle. You will come out of it and come back around. And the point of this podcast, the point of me even talking to you guys, I am trying to help you. I'm not a master of anything. I am also on my journey, but I'm saying let's do this journey together. I am trying to attain self-mastery, self-realization. I am trying to become my truest, bestest, most powerful version of myself. I am trying to master myself, my thoughts, my emotions, my body, my mind, my feelings. Did I say emotions? My energy, my everything, my existence. And one of these things to do that is to master your emotions, master your reactions to things. Have certain goals, have certain people to idolize. And when I mean people, I mean divine beings. Take Ram. Let Ram be your idol. Let Ram be your mentor, your guide. Be like Ram. Accept Dharma willingly. If something in your life happens that you don't like, that seems terrible, that you just want to curse the world, think of Ram. Think of Ram when he was supposed to be crowned king, and he accepted his exile willingly. He accepted it graciously. When he was in exile, his dad passed away because he was so sad that Ram had left the kingdom. And when Ram heard this news, he fell into a deep sadness. But he stayed in exile to keep his word to his dad. He said his death would have been in vain if he returned back to the kingdom. So take these characteristics and try to implement them in your life. How can you approach life more openly, more acceptingly? Is that a word, acceptingly? Be still. Be as the mountain. The mountain gets snowed and rained and hailed on, and it gets, what's that one word? you know, the wind hits it. I'm trying to think of the word. It just gets worn down after a while. I can't think of the word right now, and I'm sure when I play this back, because every time I say something like that and then I play the episode back, I always remember the word. But you know, things hit it. People, animals, birds poop on it. Like, so much stuff happens to this mountain, but it stays the mountain. It stands strong as the mountain. Be still and strong and accepting as a mountain. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope this helped you a little bit on your journey, and, yeah, I hope I helped you a little bit. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Natalia of Earth, Natalia of Earth, this lovely planet Earth. And yeah, if you want, I write blog posts every day now, guys. It used to be every Monday, but I write blog posts every day, or I journal every day openly to the public on my blog. You can find that link on my Instagram as well, or you can go to thewritingsofnatalia.wordpress.com. And yeah, I got some more stuff on there if you want to check it out. My DMs are always open to you if you have any questions or concerns or need a little advice on some things. I may start a little small coaching thing soon, who knows, or I might just be open to consultations for helping people on their journey a little bit, because I mean, I'm not a master, but I have gone through a lot of stuff. I have overcome a lot of stuff. I have manifested a lot of things, and I know blueprints on how to, because I've done it and I'm continuously doing it, and I'm testing it and I am experimenting with my own personal life, because that is what I'm here to do. I'm here to explore and reap the benefits of this human experience, express it to its fullest potential. Us humans have so much potential, so much power, so many things that we can do personally as humans, and I'm here to exercise that, and I'm here to experiment with that, which I've been doing for these past few years, to bring it back to you through this podcast, through my writings, through my poetry, through my books, to, oh my gosh, dude, this freaking cat, get out of here, Haku, I love you, but come on. To help you guys on your journey and to help you attain self-mastery as well, and self-realization, because God is always the end goal. God is always the end goal, and it wasn't originally for me. Enlightenment was the end goal until I realized enlightenment was God, and now I am a pure devotee to the universe, and I love God, and that is my main goal. And that is actually the main goal of spirituality and self-realization, to attain God consciousness, which is to get out of these endless cycles of samsara and attain nirvana, or moksha, liberation, so you don't have to go through the endless cycles of human suffering again, and just be one with the universe and all in all forever and ever till eternity, until you decide to come back again, I guess. So yeah, thank you again so much. I am Natalia, and this has been another episode of ThirdEyeCyphs. I will close this episode with a lovely verse from the Tao Te Ching. This is the translation from Gaia Fu Feng, or Jia Fu Feng, and Jane English. Verse 48. In the pursuit of learning, every day something is acquired. In the pursuit of Tao, every day something is dropped. Less and less is done, until non-action is achieved. When nothing is done, nothing is left undone. The world is ruled by letting things take their course. It cannot be ruled by interfering. And if that verse wasn't perfect for this episode, I don't know what is. Ram Ram.